Welcome to Stardust Stereo. I'm Parker McPhinney. I'm your host. Today's the 18th of April, year 2025. Today, in this episode, I am going to be speaking about the T-square that happens this weekend. It's quite powerful. It's in fixed signs. Fixed signs are Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is not involved in this T-square. The T-square is what I call a crowbar. It is a configuration that takes much energy to propel yourself forward in the direction that you wish to go because you're dealing with obstacles. A T-square is not a bad thing. A T-square is necessary to get things done. Mover and shakers have T-squares in their chart. They don't sit on the couch eating chocolate, watching a soap. No, they're out there dealing with obstacles and energy to get what they want done completed. The reason this particular T-square is getting press amongst astrologers as being scary is because, of course, our current condition in the world stage is quite volatile. And this T-square does have that volatile energy at its core. But that can be used in a positive way. And I'd like to reiterate something I say often. The stars don't make things happen, people do. This particular configuration, the T-square, happens over several days. The sun will enter into Taurus tomorrow at 12:55 Pacific Daylight Time. And Taurus energy, being a fixed sign, strives to have value, enough, and beauty. Taurus is very much involved with the arts, fashion, how you look, and how many zeros are in your bank account. That's not only the three things that deal with Taurus energy. Taurus energy is also about bringing comfort to the self and the world. It is about security. It's hard to have a relaxed life if you're constantly worrying about the necessities needed to live on this planet. Every single sign has positive and negative attributes. Now, this sun entering Taurus will move to activate Mars in the sky in opposition to Pluto, which is also currently moving toward that exactitude. Mars just entered Leo, and today there's actually a lovely aspect, or I should say transit, between Mars and Neptune. So since I'm the positive, practical astrologer, I would like to encourage you to dig beyond the surface and discover new spirituality within yourself that helps you withstand the difficulties that occur in life for everybody. And especially since this is Easter weekend, today's Good Friday. I've never really understood why it's called good. But for the Christian faith, this weekend is most important. And it's the symbolism of resurrection that we can do every single day, not just on this weekend, to resurrect within ourselves a deeper faith and a deeper understanding of how we can shine, because Mars is in Leo and Neptune is in Aries, and that's a fabulous go aspect, as far as I'm concerned. It fuels your creativity. And everybody's creative, even if you're a mathematician or an accountant or an executive, there's creativity in your life. Leo in a fire sign in trine to another fire sign helps release the tension that can be created in the T-square. The other component to digest in this story is Mars in Leo will oppose Pluto. Now that's a power showcaser. That's like volcanic energy that suddenly releases out. It also deals with large bodies of people, humanity, striving to actualize a better way of being. I see Mars in Leo as goodwill. In its worst capacity, it's total narcissistic, egomaniac, thirsting for power, never enough power. Those are the negative attributes. It's also when you dig in your heels and you don't compromise, which we're seeing on the world stage with the tariffs. But we, the little people in the world, can utilize this Mars oppose Pluto, both squared by the sun entering Taurus, by discovering ways to empower ourselves through love, creativity, and seeking to find the beauty in life. Taurus is very much about finding beauty and beautiful people. And if you use the transit in a positive manner, you can give yourself a difficult task that involves something that you are passionate about that will bring beauty to the masses or to your family or to your loved one. You can utilize this in a creative manner. You can utilize it in the kitchen. You can utilize it in how you treat your own physical heart and reflecting on how you exercise, how you eat, how you speak to your neighbors, how you deal with your friends that you may have conflicts with, or you may have opposing political views. You can still be loving. The key with a fixed T-square is to find the flexibility within it. Mars always acts fast. So you may start to see this energy play out before the sun creates the T-square. The other energy happening this weekend is the karmic planet Saturn, which also deals with time, will conjunct the North Node, a position in the sky that deals with fated meetings and destiny. And Venus will also conjunct the North Node. That happens on the 23rd. So love rules. And love rules even more so when there's the lasting energy of faithfulness, compassion, and steadiness of making it through the difficult times, not just the easy times. That Saturn conjunct the North Node will happen on the 21st, and the Venus conjuncting the North Node will happen on the 23rd. I want to speak a little bit about how you deal with this T-square without letting it become being stuck in the mud. It deals, the T-square, with you investing in what you feel passionate about. And instead of focusing on what anybody else is doing or not doing, ask yourself, but what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my energy? Because at the end of the day, of your life, you're not going to be thinking about what somebody else said or did, hopefully. You're going to be thinking, well, I mean, I don't know what you're going to be thinking, but I think a positive way would be to think about the joys, the happiness, the love. And the only way you can think about the love surrounding you is if you are taking the love that is inside and pouring it out to others, and also that does include to yourself. With the sun entering Taurus, we have 30 days to learn something about love. And so this T-square can be a powerful explosion within your own heart in a way that helps you actualize love in the everyday, in the in and out of your daily existence. So be sure to explore and stretch yourself and learn something that you don't know anything about, but are slightly interested in, because it can end up becoming a passion that lasts and has a longevity for years to come. That's the potential of this T-square. That's the potential of while the sun is in the sign of Taurus. Now we're also going to see electrical outages, probably some lightning storms. Be aware if you work with electricity. If you work with electricity as a healer, this could be a profound period, this entire month, of when you learn new healing techniques. And take advantage of today. Now, if you're a patron of Parker, me, you'll get this podcast today. But if you're the public, you'll have to wait a couple of days. That's another reason why becoming a patron on patreon.com/ParkerMcP is a plus. Because today the sun is in what's called mutual reception with Mars. The sun's still in Aries, Mars is in Leo, and they exchange energy with each other through mutual reception, which is considered to be like super powerful, because in astrology it makes it a quasi sun conjunct Mars, even though they're not conjunct. It acts like a conjunction. And it's a great aspect if you're working out, if you have to move things, if you have to move things emotionally, physically, or mentally. But a specific plus of this particular mutual reception is you have the energy to get what needs to be done accomplished. That energy of mutual reception is going to carry over for 24 hours. So don't be lazy today. Today, the 18th of April, is a mover and shaker day. Oh, and speaking of mover and shaker, of course, we already had an earthquake in San Diego, and I've been yakking about that for a long time. I'd like to also mention that Los Angeles is not out of the woods yet on this earthquake energy, because LA's chart is activated in a super big way with this T-square. And that's because they have Pluto at 4 degrees Aquarius. They're going to be having a Pluto return in March of 2026. So the city is going through complete transformation and redo. And often what happens before the redo is the breakdown. Now, I've talked about these earthquakes ad nauseum, but Uranus, of course, in the sign of Taurus, deals with the earth moving. And so we've had this window for a while but specifically, I knew that this quake was coming. I didn't know it was going to be in San Diego, but I knew California or somewhere in the world was definitely going to have a mover shaker, and that is still going on, and specifically for LA. So if you live in Los Angeles, you need to have your earthquake kit ready. But I've also noticed that we're seeing earthquakes in places that we normally do not see them. So just have an emergency kit available no matter where you live, because our weather is so bizarre and so changing. That's the one thing that's constantly changing, in addition to your mood, probably. Because we live in difficult times, but they can still be beautiful times. In addition to Mars being in a lovely relationship with Neptune, helping with this release of this T-square, Mars is also in a trine to Mercury in the sky. This infuses you with the pioneering energy if you decide to grab it. So please do grab some pioneering energy and move your life in the direction that you wish for it to be. I'm Parker McPhinney. This is Stardust Stereo. I'd like to thank you for listening. I'd also like to thank my patrons. And if you'd like to become a patron, I'll say one more time. You can do so at patreon.com/ParkerMcP. And I want to remind you, you are made of stardust. So go shine.